Hello guys, as you can see today, I am on Roblox. This is the first Roblox video I have made in probably at least 2 years. And this is the first official game on my new account, FanFan117, as you can see up there. This game's private as of right now, just so I can make the video without interruptions, but probably as soon as I'm done with this video, this game will be public, so you guys can play it. As you can see, it's a Shell gas station, but more importantly, the highlight of it is the R Mart convenience store that's a part of it. As you can see here, as R Mart is, it is a location that's obviously only a part of Roblox. It's like Roblox Mart, that's why it's called R Mart. There's a chain in Roblox called Blox Mart as well, but that's different. R Mart is just convenience stores that are part of gas stations. Shell gas stations in particular. There are a total of 31 R Mart locations, and this is one of them. This is the one that is local to my Roblox house. All R Marts are part of a Shell gas station. Whenever you see an R Mart, it's always, like, with a Shell gas station. That's part of, like, the company deal. There were originally 34 locations. 3 closed down in various ways, which I will explain later. This R Mart started in the early 80s. The first location was built in like 82, something like that, and then they stopped building them around the early 2000s. The last location was built in like 2000, something like that. This location, this particular one, was built sometime in the 90s. You can tell the 80s ones have glass atriums in front of them, like there's glass houses coming out of the front. This one just has the regular windows, so that's how you can tell this one was built in the 90s. All R Mart locations have fans in them, which is pretty cool, and they're all adjoined by something. As you can see, this location is joined by a Subway. Sometimes they're adjoined by a Subway, sometimes they're joined by another fast food restaurant, McDonald's, Taco Bell, etc. Sometimes they are adjoined by multiple restaurants. Very occasionally, they're adjoined by a store, like another store, like a sunglasses store, or some kind of store like that. And occasionally, they're also adjoined by a family-owned restaurant. They all opened as when they opened, they were always originally adjoined by a fast food restaurant, though, and most of them remain being adjoined by a fast food restaurant like this one. When this one was built, however, it was originally adjoined by a Wendy's. The Wendy's closed sometime around 2004, 2005, and the Subway moved in immediately afterwards and has been there ever since. It's gone through a couple of the typical Subway renovations, but the fans are original. It has the typical Regency MX XLs that were put in when it was built, and they have survived all the renovations. And that's typical for a lot of Subways in the real world as well. So, we're gonna head on in here. Most R Marts, the R Mart part itself usually always has about 3 fans installed. Usually they're different installs with different fans varying from location to location. But this particular one has Hunter Coastal Breezes in it, in white and polished brass. None of the R Marts have really remodeled since they've been built, which is pretty cool, especially the 80s ones. The 80s ones usually have Casablancas in them, usually varying from Delta 2s, Zephyrs, and such. So once I open and show an 80s one, it'll be pretty cool, because none of the R Marts have really remodeled, and so far it sounds like there aren't any plans on doing any R Mart renovations. So if you head on in here, this is pretty much how it looked when it was built. I think this was painted, the blue and red may have been painted at some point, but this brick is original, and everything inside is pretty much how it looked. Now you can see if we head on in here, unfortunately you're going to have to pardon this. This fan is actually, believe it or not, on high speed. This is not actually how fast it's going. It is the game, and it's lagging. There's so much stuff in the game. It's lagging. Also, the coastal breezes have bad capacitors as well. But it's supposed to be looking like it's on medium right now, but it's actually on high. And as you can see, since it's slowed down, you can look at it better, though you can see some of the blades are kind of bent. There are a total of 3 fans in here. You can see there's that's a Harbor Breeze over there, replaced another white and brass coastal breeze. You can see here is the shop, there's the counter, the restroom and stuff. Bluebell ice cream right there. You can see the Harbor Breeze, that it's not lagging. You can see there it is. It's actually on medium. These are pretty fast, but they aren't very good quality. But neither are the coastal breezes. I hear coastal breezes are actually rather crappy as well. Yeah, sorry about the lagging. I really hate how much this game lags, but there's so much stuff in it that I can't really do. And see, here's the drinks, this cool, like, drink thing they did here. Oh yeah, it's really lagging now, unfortunately. Sorry about that, guys. You can see this one is on... I think this one's more on, like, a low speed here. Really, it's really supposed to be, but it's supposed to be going much faster than that. As you can see, it has a droopy blade, but it's actually warped down. It's not loose. You can see these blades are pretty bent up. They're not really badly bent up, but they're kind of bent up because they have been hit by various things because they're pretty low. Like maybe signs and stuff, that's probably the most, like, that's a very realistic possibility. But yeah, you can see. Then you can see employees only. That goes to the Subway kitchen right there. And then you head in here. Again, these fans are lagging. But okay, here we go. When I go up closer, then that's how, like you saw it for a second there, that's how they're supposed to look. You can see this is the typical Subway restaurant. The pendants look kind of weird. That's because they're supposed to look like those ones that are like orange. You've seen them in real life Subways before. They're supposed to be like the orange cones with like the little details on the glass and stuff, but they don't have those on Roblox, so this is the best replica. It's not a very realistic replica, but it's the best I could do. You can see the tile is very realistic, and so is the table and the chairs and stuff. You can see there's a total of 5 in here. Subway is known for putting fans kind of all over the restaurant, so, yeah. So here's the ordering area right here. The ordering area, this is, like, kind of different here. This is the layout of, like, what the Wendy's looked like. I'm not sure if the Wendy's that was here had fans or not. Let's see. Yeah, they're not speeding up. They're not behaving anymore. But they're supposed to be going much faster. They're all on low, though. They're all on low and forward. And they're kind of bent, but they're not too bad. Regency MXXLs, these fans are known for getting warped and stuff. And these ones aren't too bad, but they're kind of warped, as you can see. Let's see, look around here. And yep, that's all the fans that are at this R Mart location. Let's see there. You can see now the Harbor Breeze is lagging as well. Let's see. Cash register and stuff. This is actually the closest Subway to my Roblox house, which that'll probably be the next game that opens, will be my personal Roblox house. And then, or either that or it's going to be my local Habitat Restore. But eventually, when I get the time, I'll create the rest of the R Mart locations that are throughout Roblox. And you can see, like, the different styles and the different fans they have. There was a small period of time when they were building them in maybe the later 90s. They completely changed the style of them and did vaulted ceilings with can-arm industrials in them. So that it's like canned lighting and the ceiling is vaulted. So that's one of their styles. That was they built maybe about 5 or 6 locations like that, and then after that, towards the very late 90s, they started doing kind of a higher tiled ceiling, and I think they like put like more kind of concords in them and stuff, and then the last one was built in 2000. They stopped building them after that, but this was before the whole vaulted ceiling era. While they were building them with vaulted ceilings, and temporarily they tried something new by creating their own cafe. It was the same time they started building them with the vaulted ceilings. They created their own cafe, R Mart Cafe, and that basically kind of failed. Their food wasn't very good. They tried, but it was one of those things that just didn't really work out. So then they started going back to the original idea, and then the R Mart Cafe spaces, the typical like fast food restaurants moved into those spaces. But sometimes you'll see that because it was the R Mart, the ones that had R Mart cafes in them, you'll see that it's like they blend in with the store. Like the same fans in the stores carry over to the restaurant. Sometimes the fast food restaurant that moves in keeps the fans from when it was the quote-unquote R Mart cafe. So but that's not true with this location. This one always had this was before the whole R Mart. This one was built before the whole R Mart cafe thing started happening, and that was when they started building them with vaulted ceilings. So, yeah, also the 3 locations that went out of business, one burnt down during a fire, the other one closed and got demolished, and another one closed and got taken over by Rickers. I'm not sure what fans those 3 locations had. I think a couple of them maybe were older and had the Casas in them. And I think there was one of the ones that closed was one that was kind of like this, was a 90s one, but I don't know a lot about the details of the locations that closed or the one that burnt down. So, and the one that burnt down, they rebuilt. They actually rebuilt the Shell gas station, but another convenience store moved in. It's like I'm not sure what it is. It's just some typical convenience store location, no fans. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about R Mart locations. There's also some of the 80s R Mart locations, are about 3 of them, that actually have this big food court next door. And all 3 of them originally put new-tone sea islands throughout the food court. It was pretty cool, but unfortunately only one remains with the original kind of cool food court with the new-tone sea islands. Those are some of the 80s ones that did that, which I will show. I'll explain more about those once those are built. The other ones kind of remodeled, the other food courts kind of remodeled and stuff. There were only 3, I call them like the R Mart food courts, the quote-unquote R Mart food courts. And it's like they have about 3 restaurants in a big sitting area. And it was one of their ideas that they tried and then they stopped doing it. Just kind of like the R Mart Cafe thing. So that kind of pretty much explains the history of R Marts. So that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll try to build more. I'll try to not get busy and build more games on Roblox. Hopefully I won't get busy and then say, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. That's happened before, but hopefully I'm pretty sure that won't happen this time. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. The next game to come will probably be my Roblox house.